Welcome, everybody. This is Fry Time Reviews. I'm Ezra Tross.
John Smith.
And I'm Michael Smith.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we just finished watching The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale, Heath Ledger. We all know the story of Heath Ledger. Okay, so let's get it started. I don't know. Initial thoughts. What do we think about it?
The Dark Knight. I think we might be a little divided on some of this. I think we agree on most of it, but I really do. I like the movie. I think it pulls you in pretty well, and it keeps your attention really well as far as just things happening, and there's not really any lulls or slowdowns. So I do like that, and it's just an action-packed, fun movie. I have plenty of critiques as far as certain plot holes or how things happen and piecing stuff together. But as far as just watching a movie and enjoying it, I really do. I like it. I think it's pretty solid, but not my favorite in the whole trilogy, as it might be many people's. But because I think I like Batman Begins a little better.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw this movie, it really blew me away. You know, just the performance of Heath Ledger, just the whole movie really sucks you in. But I think as you watch it again and have a little clearer perspective, I feel like it doesn't blow me away nearly as much. It's still a good movie, and I enjoy watching it. But I don't know, you just pick out things that just don't make sense as much, and you're not as blown away because you know what to expect. So I think watching it a first time is very different than other times.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Would you say it didn't age as well? Or just maybe not even put it that way. Not that it aged poorly, but just the fact, that kind of like what you just said.
I think every movie should be able to withstand multiple viewings, and you see different things and you like them. With me, every time I see this movie, I like it less. I still like it, and I can't forget what I thought the first time I saw it. But every time I watch it, I have to say it's less. I don't know. I guess impressive.
You find more and more like what? How did why did that happen? Or how? Even on your first viewing, though, you're just like, this is awesome, this is amazing, it's blowing you away. But as you watch more and more, you're like, that doesn't really make sense how that came up. But so I agree.
It does withstand the test of time in a sense, because I think if somebody were to watch this for the first time right now, never seeing it before, would be blown away as well. I just don't think it warrants multiple views. I don't know, but I mean, you can disagree with me, obviously.
What about you, Ezra?
No, I think you're right, but that's this movie did blow everybody away.
Yeah.
That's what's cool. It really does. John, you were on your mission when this movie came out. I reported to the MTC, started the first day of my mission when this movie came out. So I was disappointed. I knew I was gonna have to.
And actually, I have an interesting story around that. Which I guess I'll just so. I was in Montreal on my mission, and in this specific, when this movie came out, I was up in a kind of this way up north, boonies, sticks kind of area, small city, and it was P-Day one day, and so me and my companion were just like roaming the mall. There was a mall up there, surprisingly, and we went through this one store that had TVs showing movies, and Dark Knight was being played on one of them because it was already released on DVD. And I remember it was like I was already a little bit into the movie, and we just sat and watched the movie. We were just like intrigued watching it, and then we literally just sat down because there was this like home theater area, 2 chairs, and we were like, dude, let's just sit down and watch. And we watched it to the end at that point. So
how could you not?
I was like, I don't care. And especially as a missionary, it pulls you in even more because you can't watch anything ever. So I'm like, give me that.
Yeah, I remember talking to Andrew when I came back, and like talking about the movies that I needed to watch, and he was just like, "Ezra, The Dark Knight is amazing," and it was first viewing. It is amazing, and it changed, it changed the way a superhero movie could be, because it was like a crime thriller Batman movie, right?
Yeah, it obviously Batman's a superhero, but it doesn't jump out to you as superhero movie per se. Like they Christopher Nolan took a much kind of darker approach to this Batman trilogy in general, and sort of crime thriller is the best way to explain it. So
it was groundbreaking. It was revolutionary. I wasn't on a mission, and it was just taking over the world. Everybody was talking about the movie. people who don't even go see movies, like my dad, was like, "Oh, I gotta go see it." You know,
Did Dad see it?
saw it, dude. Everybody saw this movie.
Okay, that's intensive.
Yeah,
See,
if
Paul.
my dad went to see this movie,
That means
you
a
gotta
lot.
understand.
He doesn't see
The word was out. Everybody's got to see this
Yeah.
movie, you know, and it warrants it. I admit that when you go see it, you're just like, oh my gosh, that blows you away. You aren't expecting it. The performances are all great. It sucks you in. You're just like, what's gonna happen next? And it is. It's a thriller. It's a crime thriller, comic book like movie. It completely changes the genre of comic books as well. And it
Comic book movies.
yeah, I mean it's great. I do think that. All I'm saying is that once you get past that, once you look past all the revolutionary aspect of it, I don't think it's as good. I don't think it's as when you look deeper, it's not as great. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And let's get into that because we've been saying that
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure they're known. So let's get into that. So, what is it about it that lessens the viewing each time? Right? What is it?
I mean, we could probably all agree. It mostly comes down to a big part is how Joker's just able to do so many of these insane, intricate plots and pull off these schemes, which you don't want to think too much into it. I hate doing that to movies, being like, "Oh, what? That's not realistic." You know, I don't like to do that. But there's just he does so many things in this movie and pulls off so many random plots that it's like, how did he get bombs laced throughout the whole hospital and nobody knew? How did he
Yeah.
pull a school bus out of a bank and in line with other school buses and nobody cares, nobody asks? It's just it came up too often that it's like, how is he doing this?
I don't know how he did any of it, to be honest. Not a single thing. I don't know. I don't know how he fought Batman and beat him in 2 different fights. I'm like, it isn't the whole
He's
first
been working
movie,
out, dude.
Batman
Joker.
Begins, they explain how Batman learned how to fight. Okay, you're not going in thinking, how is Batman so good? You know,
What's his
because you
name?
watched the first movie, right? You know, Liam Neeson taught him. Anyway, but everything from the very beginning with the school bus, this plan, all of the Joker's plans were so convoluted. I was like, okay, so everybody's going to shoot everybody, and that's just going to happen until the very perfect moment that the bus hits the last guy who isn't going to go by your plan, and then you're able to pull the bus out with all the other buses. It was all of his plans were too perfect,
Yeah.
you know?
You had to suspend reality a lot.
You do.
I mean, this is the kind of conversation that my dad loves. He loves saying, "Well, now how did that happen?" Okay, so he's gonna like this
I
one.
think there's
but-
plenty of people who are like that, and
Yeah.
once you watch a movie like dozens of times, which I probably have seen this that many times at this point, you start to do that kind of naturally. You start to think about how did that happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't want to pick it to death. Well, we can highlight more specific things as we go along. I
Yeah.
don't want to be too negative, but the Joker's plots was a big part, and beside that, I maybe you guys think the same. I was confused a lot when it seemed really convoluted in general as far as what the district attorney is doing and Gordon and Batman and like these I think they tried to throw in lots of details to make it make sense and like, but it honestly confused me a lot of times. Like you were
Yeah.
like, "Where's the money?
I know,
Like, what's
I know.
happening with Lau? How did he get?"
What was the deal with the money and the tracking of the money and all the different things and what was their ultimate plan? And then they had Lau in prison forever, but I didn't know what they were doing with him.
He's just in a
I'm just
cage.
saying the overall plot. I think they had a lot of really good ideas. Like, oh, we're gonna set this up. These 2 boats. We're gonna set this up. This hospital. He's gonna, have everybody have to leave the hospital. They had all these great ideas that the Joker was like kind of bringing them on this chase, And that is when you originally watch it. That's why you're like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy situation. What's gonna happen? But then when you look back, I don't feel like they all tied together super great, and the overall plot wasn't my favorite. But there are just such good performances and such good
Yeah.
scenes and such good drama that it's in the first time, at least when I saw it, I was like, oh, this movie was great.
Yeah, that's what made this movie so great was the performances. I do remember, as awesome as the movie was, I do remember being not knowing kind of exactly what was going on, the finer details, like what the gangsters were doing and why was their
Yeah.
money being pulled. It moves really fast and they talk really fast. Actually, when
gloss over some of it.
right when when Gordon's talking to Harvey Dent about the marked money, he's talking really fast, and then when they're talking about this person's in, this person's in your side,
Department,
and we can't trust this person, and it's going really fast. So yeah, those actually parts did confuse me, but this movie was all about the performances. Obviously, Heath Ledger and the Joker. Should we? I mean, it's been well documented. Do you want? We don't have to talk about the overdosing and stuff like that, but just his performance.
Yeah,
I mean, we
as
should talk about it.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he clearly. I mean, if you have to pick one actor to kind of who wins this movie and kind of stole the show, I mean, Heath Ledger as the Joker takes it. Like any scene at all in the whole movie he's in, it's like exciting and interesting, and his portrayal and the way he depicted Joker was very original, and just compelling. And so I don't know, I liked him quite a bit. There, like, as even though I have problems with some of how he did things, like in the movie, the actor Heath Ledger did perfectly fine. I don't think he could have really done anything better to portray the Joker the way he was supposed to in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd give him the best actor.
Yeah.
That's undisputed. But let's talk about the worst actor, dude. I'm just kidding.
You
It's always more fun for me.
You don't even want to give your thoughts on Joker.
Heath Ledger did great. I mean, I'm not saying Heath Ledger did do great. There's nothing really else to critique about that. You know, he delivered his lines great. Sometimes you just like, I don't know. He just seems so real that it like was creepy, you know? And villains weren't really portrayed like that in the past. But in a way, you start like really analyzing the villain, being like, does this guy really just want to watch the world burn? Like that whole scene when he burned the money, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I was gonna get to that part later when we were talking about the things that bothered us. That's I'll get back. I'll mention.
Okay,
that,
well, just the performances are obviously great, and I don't want to discount Christian Bale. He did great.
Yeah.
I don't like his stupid voice he does. Where's Rachel?
But they do that in all the Batman.
But they do.
movies.
But I feel like in this one, he had a lot more talking like that, you know, than the first one. You got to actually see who the person was underneath the mask. And this one, it's just more about the mask. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
About Heath Ledger, right? You guys said it. Also, I do remember when this movie, before the movie had come out, a year out from it, like, oh well, who's blah blah. Heath Ledger's playing the Joker, and I was like, Heath Ledger. Isn't that the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that movie though. Dude, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite rom-coms actually. Is 10 Things I Hate About You.
I like it too.
Look,
it's hard to picture him as Joker.
Yeah,
really.
and he was in some other series roles before that.
Dude, A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, well, that was okay. I do like that movie though. But and there was ain't no way I was just gonna there ain't no way I was gonna be watching Brokeback Mountain. Okay, it's just not what interests me.
The show there.
So, but that was more of a serious role. But so anyway, I was like, dude, 10 Things I Hate About You. This guy's gonna be the Joker. Okay, and then but yeah, he brought it this like super dark version of the Joker where I guess you can't say I was thinking about it today actually when Jack Nicholson was the Joker in the first Batman series. You can't say that his wasn't dark, actually, because he's smiling and he's laughing and he's shooting this guy, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
his was certain,
but his was
already.
He definitely did it way different than Jack Nicholson did, and they were both good.
I'm sure the director directing the film had a big impact.
Yeah. So anyway.
But his mannerisms, the way he delivered lines and said things, his like twitchiness, his makeup and how it was, it all just made this new interesting Joker, and he pulled it off, man.
Yeah,
blew us away. I do want to say though, I like as much as the finer details. You might get lost in those sometimes, and we might critique those. I think the overarching theme of our morals, right? Are you good or bad? Having rules, falling from lightness to darkness, and like having our opposites like Joker versus Batman, and just teasing each other and seeing who's going to do what and break what rule. I did like that, and it was a very interesting overarching theme of the whole movie. But it might have fallen flat here or there with certain details, but it's interesting. It made it more compelling. And Batman's stupid rule that I shall never kill, even when it makes pure sense.
Yeah.
But whatever. I agree with Joker in some instances. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
His speech at the end,
Yeah.
like, you break your
I mean,
rule.
what was the lesson from the movie? You're not supposed to kill ever? Is that what they're trying to say? Like, even if the Joker is killing all these other people and there's no way to stop him, even though Alfred already told you the only way to stop these people is to burn the whole forest and kill them, what did Batman learn?
Yeah.
I shall never kill.
Nothing. I don't get it. What it all. My original, when I first watched this movie, my original thought was it builds up to a lot and then doesn't deliver at the very end. Because you're just left thinking, okay, his Joker's going back to jail, but he's already escaped jail. That's not going to really do anything. It's not going to solve the problem.
Well, at the end, he killed Harvey Dent. Technically, he tackled him off the roof, killed him.
Good point. Good point.
Well, unintentionally,
That
though.
was potentially you could say that, but yeah.
But I don't think Batman
He
then
did
said,
kill-
I learned I need to kill someone. I killed
No.
Harvey Dent, and
No,
that's
he
what
clearly-
needed to happen. No, like, my point is, what did he learn from this whole long 2.5-hour movie?
Yeah, actually, you bring a good point. I think the showdown with Gordon, Harvey Dent, and Batman, that was an intense part of that. I think that was a really good scene. But before that, right, you're kind of, yeah, I agree. It was a little bit anticlimactic with how it ends with the Joker.
Yeah.
I think it would have been shocking. But I mean, we knew this. Batman, that's always been his rule before these movies.
Yeah.
We knew that he didn't kill. It's so dumb though. I'm not going to be the judge, jury, and executioner. Look, dude, Batman, do you not see what the Joker's doing? Okay, there's anyway, but yeah, because maybe it would have been shocking had Batman broken his rule and then killed the Joker, right? Because it's like, oh, it's gonna push Batman to the edge, but he didn't actually push him to the edge because he still didn't kill him. Maybe,
I don't think I would have wanted them to just have Batman kill the Joker.
yeah,
But I just would like them to address that at least. I mean,
Right.
they didn't really address the fact that the Joker, I mean, in a sense, Heath Ledger died, that, they couldn't finish filming or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So they had to just kind of leave it the way it was.
Mhm.
But I just would have liked a little more closure with the Joker.
yeah.
I can understand that. It's fair. How about what
Wait,
was?
do you want to get to worst actor?
I mean,
The
we can-
worst actor, dude. How about that guy wearing hockey pads?
the dad in the beginning,
The
the
dad?
dad bod Batman.
Yeah. That comic
What's
book
the
guy,
difference between you and me?
Like, you're not
wearing hockey pads.
This
Got
is
him.
a great point. There's so many lines in this movie that
Zingers.
it's just zingers, yeah. And I just
One-liners.
feel like sometimes it's just like Batman was waiting to say these lines. Like, oh, I love a girl who puts up a fight or something. He's like, then you're gonna love me. Boom. It's just so many lines sometimes that I'm
That's-
like, eh.
That's
No.
superheroes in general.
the hockey
That's the
pants.
thing.
That was a good line, though. Come on, that was
Yeah.
a good one.
I'm not saying these are bad lines, but sometimes they just feel too perfect. Like, you know what I mean?
Look,
Yeah.
because I that's a good one though, because the guy's like trying to be all philosophical. Well, what's the difference between you and me? And he wants to get into a conversation about why it's not right that and then he's just like, I'm not wearing hockey pants. Okay?
Yeah, that's the only
a good
thing.
line.
Even
Come
though
on.
he's also a ripped billionaire,
Yeah.
And then later that
skills.
guy gets freaking tortured to death. You really
Yeah.
helped that guy's life,
Yeah, that's,
Batman.
Dude, that's
oof.
that guy's fault. Okay,
That was a dark scene.
like he thinks he's gonna take on the underworld. Okay,
Yeah.
dad bod guy.
Dead bod.
Which again, I don't understand how Joker is able to pull off these kidnappings and holding interviews of people like in 2 seconds after something else happened. He blows up a hospital and then like 5 minutes later he's captured and tortured this reporter man to read stuff.
yeah.
Like, what
Dude, he's a
the
busy
hell?
man.
How did that happen?
He does.
He's
yeah,
got a lot
he
of
jumps.
goons, I know, but still.
He jumps from point to point so fast that he must have planned all this in advance. Like, I just don't get it.
But he
He's-
says he has no plan.
He's
he
a
says he's like a
hypocrite. He's a
dog
liar.
chasing a car, and he wouldn't know what to do if he caught it. But that's clearly a lie. He clearly is diligently planning these things. I actually don't think he really cares if he does get caught or dies, but he still is planning these things, and ultimately, I think wants to survive. He's just, if he dies, he's like whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I think we need to address Harvey Dent for a minute here. So Harvey Dent was like Captain Diligent, honorable, good guy with pure morals. He was the moral king to begin with, and we'll get back to moral kings because there was a few in this movie. But his transformation by the end of the movie to capturing and killing and fighting and innocent people is absolutely drastic and happens so fast. you don't even see it coming. It's like
Seriously.
in one scene he's good, and the next he's instantly evil.
Yeah.
It is a very quick turn of events for him turning bad.
Yeah, well,
But they build up why, but at the same time, no, it's too fast.
Yeah.
It happens too dramatically.
They act like the Joker was like amazing because he was able to turn Harvey Dent. I'm like, Harvey Dent turned really fast.
like-
All you did was blow up one
He was
girl,
inclined.
and then he was like done. That was it. I mean, that's all it took, and that somehow that was amazing for the Joker to do that, to turn the White Knight. I don't know.
It was Rachel, his love.
From the beginning, I'm just thinking like, Harvey Dent, dude, you're sitting down with Bruce Wayne and Rachel and Natasha, and Natasha's talking crap about Batman, and you're sticking up for him. From the beginning, I'm like, okay, this guy thinks he's the righteous king. I'm like, he better live up to it.
yeah, and he wakes up after being blown up, and then he's already
He's like, "That's
pure
it."
evil, and he's ready to kill all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty
He goes
quick
through-
turnaround.
He
It's
goes
just
through
so
one
quick.
really. Granted, it was a really tragic and dramatic event, but he goes through one event. And he's like, "That's it, man. Evil Knievel," and he's just ready to kill.
Dude, he was a little psycho even before that, dude. He was like yelling at that schizophrenic guy, and like, I don't know, dude.
Dude,
He
that
was,
guy was garbage. That schizophrenic
Okay.
weirdo.
Yeah, he was weird.
He can yell at him all day. That guy was
He
weird.
was good.
He had
Yeah.
he had a badge that said Rachel Dawson on it. Where the heck did they print that? Is my question. What, did the Joker actually have that made well in advance?
Yeah.
Obviously, like what?
That goes into the details.
So-
where I don't know.
So, you know, I can look past all the things that are just illogical and don't make sense. And okay, how did he get all these bombs onto the ships in the hospital? Right? I can look past that stuff.
Without anybody noticing.
Right. Those types of things don't bother me that much. I mean, it's fun to make fun of and we laugh about it during the movie. The one thing I can't get past, though, this is what bothers me in this movie, is when he has a literal mountain of cash and he just burns it up. Okay, I get that the Joker doesn't care about money and he's just a crazy guy and he likes chaos, but his henchmen do it too, and they have apparently no problem. But then they say, oh, well, he attracts crazy people like from
Yeah.
Arkham. How many of those people are there? Because if there's so many people like that, then the Joker's really not that special. But he is. So, like, why are his henchmen? They have no problem burning all this mountain of cash. I hate that
They're
part.
mightily
Yeah.
loyal to him.
Yeah.
They do not. Yeah, it's absurd, and it's, he makes his his statements. The city deserves a better class of criminal, whatever the hell that.
Yeah, I
means.
don't know what that means.
Like, so they deserve to be just beaten and killed by other worse criminals. Like, what are you
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Apparently, it's a better class is not having any motives at all. That's the best class there is.
I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Like,
sure
okay.
any criminal that's ever existed, money has typically been the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean,
And for
Yeah.
humans in general, I'm like,
apparently, that makes a better
so-
class of criminal.
Not-
Apparently. So,
I'm like,
know.
it makes you insane. I'll give you that. That's. But
I
yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I agree with you. That
I don't know why
bothers me.
not one other person thought, why don't I just shoot the Joker and take all this money? Or
I
split,
know.
Like, no, they were all just like, yeah, let's burn all this money.
Yeah, what?
No,
Yeah,
dude.
they're gonna be kingly loyal to the Joker too. Like, had that have happened, how dare you kill the Joker? Like, no, they would have been like, oh, nice, then we get that money
I don't
too.
think
Yeah,
anyone
I
else
don't
would've
get why
cared.
they didn't go for the money from the get go, like the cops and people. From the get go, they were like, oh well, we're gonna use this guy to put them all in jail. Like, no, you need to be looking for that money, man. Cut them at the source, but they don't. And then of course the Joker gets it and then burns it.
Yeah, I mean,
They just
there's a lot of that, but I do like how the movie begins too. I think
yeah,
it
a-
pulls you in
yeah,
pretty much instantly because you're in mid heist, right? And these people wearing clown masks, and you're like, what's going on? And it's pretty intense already, robbing a bank and blowing
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
up, shooting. And that's kind of why the movie did so well in general. Like, that takes place throughout the whole movie, but it pulls you in, sucks you in pretty much right away. But
yeah. That was a very good scene to start the movie with. Very good. And the Joker was a big. He's always been one of the most popular villains of all time. Anyway, so you knew the movie was about the Joker. So I don't know, it's kind of
yeah,
build up to the Joker. Like, you want to see the Joker.
reveal.
The reveal, right?
Um,
Yeah.
top dog, and he
That was
was
good.
just one of the henchmen, dude. He's just in
Yeah.
there in the weeds with his boys, killing each other and everyone's turning on each other and too much loyalty.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. They take out one another, and they don't think anyone would
No one would
possibly
take me
take
out.
them out, right?
It's a better class of criminal. Okay.
Stupidest people.
No, there's never a dull moment in the movie. You're right. It just moves from point to point to point. Sometimes a little quick that you're not following all the intricacies till you watch it through and through. But it does pull it. It keeps your attention through the whole movie.
I think with the minor details where they are trying to squeeze in this, talking about this technology and building this, or what's happening with the mobsters and how the intricate details of all that. I think they're just like saying things sometimes that they just don't want us to think much about or look into. That sounds like we're explaining this to you, and so don't worry about it. Just watch the movie and enjoy the action scenes. But we are explaining it. But when you really listen, you're like, what?
Yeah.
You're kind of confused.
Yeah,
sonar
that's a good
technology.
So, but I don't know. I don't need them to explain literally everything. I don't always want that in any movie, but it's just sometimes it's confusing as well. But the action made up and the good acting. Filmed really well. The filmography, cinematography itself, the soundtrack. They have that intense, like buzz kind of sound, like an alarm that's building up and
builds
up.
up a lot of tension.
That really builds the tension. I really did like the use of that. Like when Joker was, crashing Batman's party and like, the music's building up there. That sound, that buzz sound. Even though another whole, like, why Joker just got away, he was fine. Like Batman falls out the window with
I didn't
Rachel.
understand that.
He just walks.
And everyone in the party lets
Everyone
him
in the party's like,
he goes to the party.
Joker.
Okay, he goes to the party not looking for Batman or Rachel. He's looking for Harvey Dent. Okay?
Yeah.
And then Batman comes and he's like, he has to die for Rachel. So Batman and Rachel are both gone. And then he just leaves. He doesn't look for Harvey Dent. What the heck?
I do like that old man who stands up to the Joker. He's like, we won't be intimidated by thugs like you. Dude, that's a brave old man, okay?
Yeah.
He was
brave old man.
He was braver than life. I appreciate that man. He wasn't scared. He was right in his face.
No, you know what? He reminded me of my father.
Oh, dude, see Paul Smith. He would have stood up to that thug.
He would have stood up, dude. You're right.
No, that's what the Joker says to him. You remind me of my father.
Well, your dad would have stood up to him.
Yes, yeah. Okay, never mind.
No, I do.
Hey, see, Paul, not.
Okay, I guess.
Gosh,
I guess Dad would have done that. Sure.
Dude,
but,
he would have, maybe.
Dude, how did Joker get his scars? You get two different stories. What his mom? What was the first one?
I do like that though, because the first time you hear it, you're like, "Whoa, really? That's how he got his. That's how he got it. His face got cut up. That's why he's crazy." And then
let's put a smile.
Yeah, and then the next scene, he's giving it something totally different. You're like, "Oh, he's just making it up." I like that.
It's like, does he tell a different version every time? Yeah. Is one of them true? Is he just making up? Did he just do it to himself because he's insane?
It was either he did it to himself or his dad did it to him. I mean,
maybe his mom. I don't know.
I don't think that really matters. It just builds to the character,
right.
And it's like because Joker. The point is he doesn't have any rules, right? That's his thing. He's like, you do what you do and break the system. But like, I feel like he kind of did have his own sort of principles he was trying to push along, but yeah.
Okay.
So, give another scene that was done really well, or what you liked about it. I know we've been criticizing it a lot,
we like the battle.
But what's another scene that's really good?
Good scenes, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them. Obviously, I like the interrogation between Batman and Joker for sure when he's in jail, and Batman suddenly behind him starts wrecking him. I mean, that's a really good interaction between the both of them. They're really butting heads. It's coming to a front right there.
Really gets under Batman's skin there, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great scene, just the acting wise, and yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I had mentioned while we were watching, I like it. It's in the dark, and all of a sudden the light comes on, and I like Heath Ledger's just for that brief moment where his eyes adjust to the light, and he's like, ow, squinting. And then he's squinting, and then he just
slam.
And then Batman slams his head on the table. I think that part's pretty funny.
I do like that. And don't start with the head; it gets them all fuzzy.
Yeah.
And then he punches his hand. I think he punches.
Yeah, that
Joker.
part I was like, that wouldn't even hurt.
But he didn't react.
You can punch my hand as hard as you want; it will not hurt.
Dude, that would probably hurt. I like. Okay, apparently the Joker shall never feel pain either.
Yeah, I don't get how he beats Batman in one-on-one fights.
well,
in the last scene when he starts killing him with the crowbar or whatever, why is Batman still watching everything through the sonar, and then it messes up? Why are you still?
That's unethical. Okay. No.
Yeah.
He can't turn it off.
Why
dude.
is he? Why didn't he
can't
just
turn
turn off the dumb sonar when he's battling the Joker? But he wanted to keep it on apparently.
The sonar thing
Well-
was so dumb. Like, what did that serve? They didn't
It
need
was-
to put that in there.
Yeah, that's one of my bigger issues was just the Batman and Lucius and whoever's ability to just invent like earth-shattering technology overnight and just turn it into this beast of a machine that can see the whole city is like, I mean, I know there's a lot of far-fetched things in superhero worlds, but I'm like, what? You could just do that? So, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I accept it. It's just a movie, but it at the same time bothers me.
All I know is it really bothered Lucius Fox, okay? Because he was like, this is unethical. I will not work here, even though I invented this technology and I've made you plenty of other things like the Batmobile and stuff. I will not stand for this technology spying on people. I'm like, isn't that what the U.S. government does all the time?
This is
Spy
where
on
this is
everybody.
where we got our second contender for Moral King.
Yeah.
So Harvey Dent starts
Okay.
it off. Lucius Fox is the second
Dude,
contender.
but the winner is Batman.
In the end, it will be
Yeah,
Batman.
Because he doesn't kill, and he planned to destroy that unethical technology from the get-go.
Yeah, it's weird. That's where Lucius draws the line.
Well, I think that's where Lucius. That's probably like deleted scene. He told Batman, he's like, "I'm the moral king. I will not use the sonar technology," because Batman wanted to use it to he wanted to watch women in the shower using the sonar technology. Okay.
According to Lucius.
Oh, after he caught the
Privacy.
Joker, he was going to do that all day.
Privacy above all
Yeah.
else. Go out and kill people. Well, he doesn't kill people. Go out and shoot people, blast people with weapons, and run people over, destroy the city. But you shall not spy, sir. You shall not look. Okay.
I don't know.
Just,
That did creep up a lot. This whole like, oh, who's the moral king?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But in the end, Batman said,
In
"Type
the
your
end, it
name."
was Batman.
Dude, he's
In
always.
the end, it was Batman for sure.
Batman spent the entire night rigging the machine to explode once he types his name. Dude, like, how does he do? How does he just do that?
For a brief second, I was like, it's got to be Two-Face because he's so fair. He just flips a coin.
Dude, Two-Face
That's
had, what? To be fair, he was going after people that were either associated with dirty cops or dirty cops in general. He was just being, a real jerk about it, obviously.
till he got
Two-Face.
to Gordon's
And then
son.
until he was like, "I shall kill your family." Like, okay, all right, let's tone it down a bit. And
Just so drastic his
he just
change.
turned dark faster than Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like we always joke that Anakin's turn to the dark side was pretty rapid.
It was abrupt, and
Very abrupt.
Two-Face was way more abrupt.
Yeah.
It was
Two-Face
like the
took
last 30 minutes of the movie. At least Anakin had the last hour of the movie.
Sure. Within a matter of probably 3 hours in the movie time, he goes from being injured in the hospital to, shooting cops and like capturing people and slapping them and then kidnapping families. It's just
Yeah.
funny. But, well, it's sad, but you know what I mean. It's a fast turn.
What about the part when? Well, one of the final scenes as well. The boat when the people are on the boat. Yeah.
What would you do, dude? What would you do?
Well, did you not think that was a nice?
I did.
Made you feel good. You know how they didn't
Yes.
blow each other up.
That was a feel good moment. I will like that the criminals as well as the innocent, normal citizens all cared enough to not, blow each other up.
Right. We're not going to be the ones to do it. If we both die, then it'll be by the hands of the Joker and not us. That's
Exactly.
Restores your faith in mankind, right?
And
Yeah,
Come on.
but my problem is right before this with the hospital, everyone was just ready to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Literally, random people were ready to shoot
Taking out
him.
guns,
This guy was ready
ramming-
to ram him with his truck. I mean, every single person, even this cop, sitting right across from Gordon, was like making a move
ready
to kill him.
Reese or whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
everybody was ready to kill Reese because he threatened to blow up a hospital, and they have relatives in the hospital.
Right.
So then I have no faith in humanity or whatever. And then this boat thing, I guess they're not that bad.
Yeah. Well, right. The Reese guy, if you forgot, if it's been a while, was the guy the accountant who figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman. And then when the Joker was, he's like, I'm going to kill somebody every day until Batman reveals himself. And he couldn't wait any longer. He's like, I'm going to have to. And then the
Talk
Joker.
to the radio or whatever.
Yeah. And then the Joker comes in and says, I don't care anymore. First person to kill this Reese guy is, I don't know, what do they get? Oh,
No.
yeah. He's not going to be, or I'll blow up
You
the
either
hospital.
kill this Reese guy or I'm going to blow up the hospital,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, and everybody's ready to
And
kill
everybody,
Reese.
every single person is like, gotta kill him.
So
And
tons
you're
of
just
people.
like, okay.
Well, it's just one guy, right? No, he's like a
No,
little
the first
penis
guy,
head,
they were
dude.
all like rushing
first guy?
they were all rushing the little studio he was in, and this one guy straight up pulled a gun out and shot the glass.
He got tackled right away.
But they were all trying to get to him, and then they were like getting him away, trying to get him away from this angry mob. And this guy runs him over with a truck, and the cop tries to shoot him as well. It's crazy. But then, the people on the boat, the convicts and the other people with the angry businessman are all good.
Right. Well, if Hollywood's taught us anything, it's that convicts always have bigger hearts than normal people.
Oh, yeah.
But
for sure. That guy,
in the end, they've been through a lot, guys.
Can't judge a book by its cover.
No, that's a good scene still, though. But,
no, I do. I will say I do like the situations happening. I like it's very compelling and interesting. Like, oh, wow, that's an interesting situation. Blow up the other person's ship, one convicts, one innocents. Like that's an interesting scenario. I don't at all buy how it's set up and happens, and how he pulls it off. But I do find it very interesting, and it's like you said, Ezra, in the end, a feel good moment of like, oh man, look, people are moral. Joker, he's very upset, obviously, that people aren't turning as quick as he'd like or as often as he'd like.
Dude, Gotham City is just so dumb.
Yeah,
they're all just like, oh, he's gonna take down the whole city. We better get on a boat and get out of here. No, but let's put all the convicts on the boat first, because we got to get them out of here.
We got to get the convicts out of here first. Women and children, no. Convicts, get on the boat. You guys are first. That was absurd. Also, I think it's also pretty strange how the city is so stupid to purely just believe whatever Joker is saying. Like, oh, if you press this button, it will blow up the other boat. It won't blow up your own boat or do nothing. Or just believe me, I'm an insane, random, terrible person.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't believe him at all, but somehow he did get all those barrels on the boat, and he did have.
But he would follow through on the things, though.
He followed through on everything so far. He blew up a hospital.
But he tricks too. He tricked Batman by giving him the wrong address to Rachel, and instead giving him Harvey's. You know what? He mixed up their addresses.
Because he knew Batman was somehow faster.
So he'll still do something evil and bad. So I bet if they hit the buttons, my guess is they would have blown up their own boat. I kind of think that. And I think Joker doesn't care either way.
Speaking of instantly believing, I like it when Harvey Dent decides that he doesn't want Batman to reveal himself, so he's like, I'm the Batman, and then they just instantly believe Harvey Dent, and then they handcuff him.
That makes perfect sense. Get him.
I think we were comparing Gotham to Springfield a bit in this movie, and that the townspeople seem to just be a bunch of morons who believe whatever's being told to them, or just instantly jump the gun.
Yeah, and they'll change their attitudes immediately.
Yeah, they go from trying to kill each other to saving each other in an instant. Yeah. So I did like that analogy. I didn't think about that till this watch through. Yeah. This is like Springfield, just more criminally inclined.
Yeah, I did like that part. It was a funny part, going back to when the town's trying to kill this Reese guy, and then Bruce Wayne drives his car in front of it.
That Lamborghini.
Right, his Lamborghini, poor
Very
Lamborghini.
Nice.
But when Gordon comes up to him, he's like, "That was a brave thing you did there, Bruce." And he's like, "What? I was just trying to catch the light." And he's like, "Oh man, do I need to go to a hospital?" And they're evacuating all the hospitals. That was a good part, he's just playing stupid millionaire trust fund kid, right? Yeah. He pulls it off pretty well.
I think Christian Bale's did great. He just didn't. He kind of got overlooked, basically.
Overshadowed by
Christian Bale's a great. I mean, the character of Batman's not that hard to play.
Yeah.
So I think that's why. But Christian Bale's a great actor. Yeah. And he's a great Batman. So
you're gonna agree it either way. Yeah.
The only other scene that I'm gonna bring up that I probably shouldn't, but when he was in jail and that bomb blew up.
Oh yeah, I was gonna reference that earlier.
Yeah. Somehow he's holding a guy hostage. There's 3 other people with guns on him. This random fat dude gets blown up, and it somehow frees him. I was confused.
It starts off odd with that guy's ready. That cop is ready to beat Joker to a pulp because he was talking about, "I killed all your friends."
Oh yeah.
He is instantly.
They don't show
absolutely instantly overtaken by the Joker somehow.
He's immediately defeated.
Just the worst. And Joker's holding the knife to him, walks out. And there's this stupid fat guy in the prison who keeps, boss said he'd help me see lights. Whatever, this insane fat guy.
That was bad acting.
Which was
generally
bad acting. And then he just, whenever this happened, someone somewhere sewed a phone into his gut that Joker wanted to call to blow up.
It blows up enormously too.
Yeah,
like
it's a
how
big
does it
explosion. It
make
shows all
such
the
a
windows
big
blowing out,
explosion?
and he's just
Like
standing there.
what?
They cut to Joker
how
standing
They
there.
cut to the Joker,
No
and
one's
like,
there
everyone
anymore.
got destroyed except for the Joker.
Yeah.
It's like everyone else literally dissolved into nothingness, and Joker's
Yeah.
just standing there like, I'm gonna walk out, guys.
Yeah.
It's they could have done that a little more neatly. That's all. But whatever. Joker is known for getting away and doing stuff. He's clearly corrupted lots of people. He has someone in every department and office, and even though he's like this guy with no plan, apparently he's very organized and knows people everywhere.
But none of them care about money because they let them burn it, and they're all just the higher class of criminal.
Even though they're the lowest class, probably.
I don't-
I could imagine. Give me all that money, dude. Are there any other notable scenes or notable lines?
So many lines.
There's a
Why
lot.
so serious is that classic
That's
line.
probably one of the biggest lines to come out of the movies. Why so serious?
Let's
Or
put a smile on that face.
Joker has
either
most of them.
die a hero or live to see yourself become the
Live
villain.
long enough to see yourself become the
Yeah.
villain.
Oh, and this one got used a lot after the movie. Was the he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the hero they need.
Oh yeah,
That got used. That
yeah.
still gets
That
used
one
today.
comes up quite a bit. He's the Dark Knight.
I thought it was the one they need, not the one they deserve. Is it the one they deserve?
It might be the
Not
other
the
one.
one
No,
they
is
need.
he like doesn't he?
It's one or the other.
I'm like, what are
Okay.
you trying to
It's the one
say
they
with
need,
this?
but not the one they deserve. Because
think
he is
they
willing
need-
to do.
yeah.
He's willing to do things that they probably.
It's that way.
No, it was
But
the
maybe
he's the hero that Gotham deserves, but not the one they
because
need.
he becomes the
Be-
villain, so to speak.
Yeah,
in
right.
that
So,
they're-
because right now the hero they need is Harvey Dent.
yeah.
That's so it
No,
Oh,
was.
Ezra's
Batman
right.
is the hero that they deserve, but not the one they need. Whereas
Yeah.
Harvey Dent is the hero
Yeah.
they need, but not the one they deserve.
Because he was actually.
Yeah.
Who cares? It gets confusing, and I don't know why they use that. The first movie had that great line that they didn't bring up again, but it's not who you are, or it's not what you do that defines you, or
It's
no,
not
what
It's
who
you-
you
not
are, but
who
what
you are
you
on the
do.
inside that matters, but what you do
that
that
defines
defines
yeah,
you.
it's not who you are underneath that defines you, but what you do. Yeah.
I like that part in Batman Begins.
That's a
So
good-
like when he's
Yeah.
talking to what's her
Rachel.
Rachel. Okay.
Yeah, the prettier
she's like-
Rachel.
Rachel
Yeah.
who
And
changes
she's like,
actresses.
But
suddenly.
and he tells it, and he's like, yeah, I like that
Which
part.
is-
That's an intense part, right?
As
But,
far
yeah, there are so many good lines in The Dark Knight. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's generally quotable. Dude, I still like the because I'm not wearing hockey pads or hockey pants. Is it pants?
Yeah,
or
that's a good
pads?
line.
Either one.
pads.
I'm pretty sure it's
'Cause
pads.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
He just trolled that dad hard.
Yeah.
But good one-liners like you brought up, Michael. Anyway.
What I wonder what what his name in the credits was. It should have been like Ugly Batman or something. Stupid
Ugly
fake
Batman.
Batman. That's
What
it.
about-
stupid fake one?
I'm like a
gotta be one.
dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught one.
I just
Yeah.
do. I do like that. I like the
Lots of lines.
scene. Also I guess you could call it the chase scene. The one where Harvey Dent is being transported in the SWAT car and Joker chases them and Batman comes out in the Batmobile. That
Yeah,
sort
that's a
of
good
road
one.
chase scene. It's fun. It's interesting. I like how the truck flips over. It's pretty intense the way Batman pulls it off.
I like it, but it's kind of ruined a little bit because the whole time I'm thinking, well, he wants to be caught. Actually, this whole time he just wants to be caught. You know what I mean?
That's-
The first time I saw it, I agree. But the second time, I'm like, yeah, but what's the point? Because he just wants to go to jail
The Joker's like 10 steps ahead of everybody
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
somehow.
And he makes his own clothing, just so you guys
He
remember.
makes his
They
own.
specifically mentioned that his clothing is like he makes it himself.
Yeah.
So, what else is there here? Any other thoughts, hates, loves, favorite actor, least favorite? Who else? There was another actor I was going to battle who I didn't
Was it the freak
like.
guy?
The freak, he was schizophrenic.
First of all, I don't
Not the
think
fat guy.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's that great. She kind of just has dead eyes the whole time. Just I don't
Yeah,
care
she's-
for her.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we got Maggie Gyllenhaal this movie when it was Katie Holmes the first movie,
Dude,
and
give
I
me
was
Katie Holmes.
I was
any
wondering
day.
why they switched that, and I from looking it up, it's apparently Katie Holmes took some other role that just kind of prevented her from being prepared. It was in Mad Money or something.
Yeah,
so
no
she
one
couldn't-
knows about that
Yeah.
movie, so she made
didn't
the
wanna
wrong
drop-
choice.
She didn't
Why-
want to drop it or
she-
something. I don't know.
It's not like these movies weren't going to be big though. Who knows what her
I don't know why it
thought
came
process.
down to that.
I thought Maggie
But
Gyllenhaal
she
was
was fine for what she was, I guess. It's not like
At
Katie
the
Holmes
I
beginning-
didn't care for
blew
her.
me away. or
At
anything.
the beginning, when you're first introduced to Harvey Dent, which actually that's a good scene too, when you're kind of first seeing Harvey Dent and he's trying to get the Falcone people and then,
Who
and then
somehow got a gun into the courtroom.
into the courtroom,
up
right?
to the stand. Like, this is talking about how Gotham is just stupid.
He could have killed
Yeah.
him instantly.
So anyway, after
Which is
that scene,
Harvey.
after they try to kill him in the gun jams, she's like, dude, she's
she
hot.
She was ready.
Like that really got her excited. Them trying to kill Harvey Dent. She was like ready to
She's
bang
like,
him.
we could,
After
she was
that.
like, we could, call the day off. Oh my goodness, we could go back to my place and or Bruce's place. Oh my gosh.
Bruce's place, dude.
Harvey, talk
It's like,
about that.
My favorite part is
Yeah.
when Harvey calls Rachel. It's like, Rachel, you gotta be safe or whatever. Go to the safest
'Cause
place.
she's the next.
And
victim.
she's like, Bruce, okay, go to Bruce's bed.
She's like, what's the safest place? She's like, well, Bruce's bed is pretty safe. I think.
Yeah, go there.
He's
go
like,
there.
go there, get under the sheets.
Take all your
Just
clothes off,
go.
get in his bed, and just wait there for a few nights.
Nah, I didn't care for Maggie Gyllenhaal, honestly. I mean, Aaron Eckhart, is that his name? He did great.
Yeah, he's good.
Christian Bale obviously always delivers. Heath Ledger did great.
What's his name?
Alfred did
Gordon.
good.
Who plays Gordon? Yeah, Michael Caine is Alfred. He's
Sirius
solid.
Black did great.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. He's good. He's a good. I
He's
like
really
him.
good.
Richard Alpert did good too. So there are a lot of
Richard.
good.
The mayor.
I
Yeah.
don't know his actual name, but
Yeah, nobody knows his name. It's just Richard from Lost.
Richard from Lost did
Yeah.
really good. You know, he hasn't aged, obviously. Yeah,
So
Mostly
overall
good.
fun to watch.
I mean, Ramirez, I was skeptical about her from the beginning. I was like,
Yeah,
we were just waiting for that reveal the whole movie.
Yeah,
that was
Mike-
the only
Nah, I'm
payoff
just
I
kidding.
was
the
looking for.
entire movie, Officer Ramirez is like waiting, biding her time, ready to betray Gary.
they got her early with her
yeah.
grandma in the hospital, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and so Commissioner Gordon decides, guys, I gotta fake my death for at least
Oh,
one
yeah.
for one whole day. I gotta be dead.
Just one day,
so
though.
that Joker
'cause
won't
then-
target my family for this one day.
I know.
that-
After that, his family's safe.
So that I can
Obviously
catch
not.
the Joker somehow. Like so that he's where is he all that time? Somehow he ends up catching Joker.
He
before
knew to
he's-
come out right when the truck flipped and Joker was like having a standoff. He knew that's the moment I got to reveal my secret.
No, I think he was in the truck with Joker most of that time. I think he probably shot one of the rockets. He's like, guys, I got to play my part until.
Dude, him faking his death was just dumb. It didn't make sense.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
ceremony.
like, so you knew they were gonna shoot him at that exact moment to jump in front of it, somehow take a bullet, but it's actually fake. What?
Yeah, I don't. The way he faked his death there, that's also a big plot hole.
You can't
There's no way
fake
he knew.
taking an actual shot.
And that
as-
and
it
that
doesn't
the
make
guy
sense.
looking at him was like literally thinking he's dead. I'm pretty sure that guy wasn't in on it. That officer.
but the great thing is, though, the first time I watched it, I don't think
You don't
about that
even
at
know.
all.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
know.
about that at all.
This
We're
is why I
probably
said
ruining-
the first time you watch it,
I think
it's
we're
like,
ruining this movie for everybody who's
No.
listening to this because they're like, wait, that's true.
no, I mean, the first time you watch it, you're not gonna think this kind of stuff. I mean, you may think that briefly, but there's so much you got to be focusing on because it moves so fast that you don't like think, whatever. I guess he just faked his death. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's,
but
yeah, you can't. You just have to roll with it. It's a movie and it's entertaining. Oh, did they? It's just so it is. As far as the whole trilogy goes, I don't know. I mean, I think, like I said in the beginning, I think I like Batman Begins the best, only because I just like origin stories and it was the introduction, and I think it was a little more. I don't want to say believable, but there weren't as many holes and ridiculous pieces I had to put together. But I would put Dark Knight, I guess, second, and then and Dark Knight Rises probably third. Just in order that way. They're all pretty stellar, though. I don't know. What do you guys think?
well, I don't think we're gonna be. Are we judging this as a
If
whole
you're comparing
trilogy?
the
If you're
one
comparing all
movie to
three
the
of them,
other,
Batman Begins, I think, is definitely the
yours.
best. But
Mhm.
this part has some of the best pieces. Okay. The
yeah.
Dark Knight, I mean, has some of the best pieces, some of the best scenes for sure in the whole trilogy. Performances, like we've talked about, you can't discount those. But the overall plot and the overall everything, the more you look at it and try to rate it and everything, I think it doesn't stand up. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I like, and well, we all do. I like all the movies. I don't like how, because people put this. For most people, this is their favorite one. And they've
Yeah.
put it on this pedestal. So I knew when the third one, when The Dark Knight Rises came out, that everyone was going to compare it to The Dark Knight, and I knew they were gonna be like, it wasn't as good as The Dark Knight. It was so disappointing. I thought they were all good. I liked The Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises was great.
It was.
So maybe I'm probably with you guys. Maybe Batman Begins is the best.
Kind of 1, 2, 3, and
yeah.
but there's no like steep drop off. I don't think of any. I think
Right.
they're all pretty much on par.
I wouldn't say any of them were disappointed me.
Yeah.
Not like that. No.
Yeah. I think it's the best Batman. I mean, there's a lot of Batman trilogies out there or remakes. I think this is one of the best ones.
Yes, but I think The Dark Knight is super overrated.
You
like can't talk bad about it with someone being like, what? Are you serious?
That's fair.
And I'm like, yeah, the plot was dumb. And they're like, are you, what?
Yeah, nah, it's fair. And it almost happens naturally with stuff that you really like. Once you watch them a lot, like Seinfeld, I love Seinfeld, but once you watch it a million trillion times, there's certain moments, and it's your favorite, and you love it, but there's certain moments that you're like, oh, that fell flat, or that didn't really work. But just because we naturally analyze and pick things apart, the more you're exposed to it. So that probably is a large part of what happened here in our discussion about it. But I do really like it. It's a rewatchable movie, but as you rewatch it, you also notice little holes and whatever. But if you're just watching to enjoy, have fun, action, good acting, it stands the test of time, in my opinion.
Yeah. Actually, I also had this thought as far as the plot being hard to follow. Yes, thank you. The plot being hard to follow and stuff. Actually, I was just thinking that's kind of a common in Christopher Nolan films. Actually, a lot of times it's a little bit hard to follow. So
yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
Inception, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that, and you could also pick that apart quite a bit.
Oh,
too.
dude, I love that movie.
But as much as I love it,
it's a great movie, and I think he's a great director. But sometimes I think he tries to do too much, so that it adds a lot of different holes, and that you're like, I see what you're trying to go for there. It just didn't come across the way I think you wanted it to. I don't know, but I agree that it's hard to follow.
Yeah, but no surprise. If we look at ratings, Rotten Tomatoes, Dark Knight got 94% score for critics and audience. 94%. Which is just insane. That's like very high.
Did they rate it like right after they watched it the first time?
Maybe.
Yes.
Well, obviously that's what most people.
I guess. I mean, I probably would have done that right after I watched it the first time.
But in contrast, Batman Begins had a 84% critic score, but still 94% audience. So the audience is just as happy.
The audience liked The Dark Knight as much as Batman Begins, according to this. Wow.
And critics gave it 10% less. And then Dark Knight Rises, 87% critics, 90% audience.
Critics.
And that's, the critic score is the main one.
We're critics.
I think. Yeah. So that's just Rotten Tomatoes. So it went Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight Rises for audience. But the critics liked Dark Knight Rises a little more than Batman Begins, apparently. So, and then IMDb, it got a 9 out of 10 compared to Batman Begins, 8.2 out of 10. Dark Knight Rises, 8.4 out of 10. And then Roger Ebert gave The Dark Knight 4 out of 4 stars. And what did he say? What did he call it?
Let's read that.
I'll read it. A haunted film that leaps beyond its origins and becomes an engrossing tragedy. He praised the performances, direction, and writing, saying the film redefines the possibilities of the comic book movie. Actually, that's pretty. It's pretty good. It is a tragedy. So.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A tragedy.
Harvey Dent, man.
Yeah.
It's tragic. But yeah, so clearly, most people they like The Dark Knight the most. But yeah, maybe they haven't rewatched it as much as us and attacked it. It's a fun movie. Whereas if I were to compare it, I'm not even gonna try to give it that 1 through 10.
Well, I was just gonna say that's the dumbest segment we have, but I think we got to do it. It's
the 1 through. All right,
our rating is the stupidest segment, but I feel like we got
to battle my rating every time. You're like,
no.
You gave it a 6. Yeah.
Well, I
give it what you want.
I'm just saying we should do it just for the absurdity of it, because there is no criteria, there's no consistency. But let's just do it. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't remember what I've given anything else, and I don't really know what I'm going to give this until I say it.
Okay.
It's like in the moment. What is the score? You can start, Ezra.
So this has kind of been following what we've been saying this whole time. First time I saw this movie, I'd give it an 8.
Okay.
Now I'll give it a 6.
Ooh,
Wow.
all right. 6. I don't. Yeah, I'm probably with you. Absolutely, because my first viewing was when I probably wasn't even supposed to be watching it, and I was deprived of TV for quite some time, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I probably would have given it a 9 or something. But yeah, I'll probably give it more of a 7.
Okay.
With the caveat that I have to accept that there's lots of unanswered questions or confusing things, but just my gut feeling of just what do I think of this movie when I think of it? I give it a 7 out of 10. Seems fair.
Okay. So Ezra gave it 8
6.
first time,
Yeah.
6 second time. You gave it 9
and
first
7.
time, 7 second time. See what I mean? This is like one of those movies, just like The Sixth Sense or something, where like the first time you see it, it's going to be so much different than any other time. So it's inevitable that you have 2 different scorings. I'd say the first time I see it, I give it an 8, and the second time a 6. But I got to be different than Ezra. So the second time a 5.
Okay.
Did you give 5.5?
5.5.
5 is low, man.
The thing is,
anyway.
like, honestly, like the first time an 8 is like that's like the highest. I mean, I haven't given any movie that we've rated so far an 8. So the first time I was blown away, but every consecutive time I'm just like, come on, this. I mean, what is this? It just doesn't. I'm gonna have to say 5. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, that's fine.
Well, Mike, no, you've inspired me, right? Because like I was telling Michael, right, when Michael says like when he gives Aliens a 7 out of 10, I'm thinking he's giving that movie a C grading, and a C is an average. But see, Michael doesn't think that way.
That's not my grading
right.
scale,
That's
no.
not right. No, so that's good. You know,
It's a 10 scale,
you're
not
not-
an A through F scale.
right. Your mind's not trapped in this box, kind of like So
A
right,
1
I
and a
gave the
2 would
movie-
be an F, and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
3 and
Okay,
a 4 would
you got
be a
people that
D.
like Bobby who give everything a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't give
Right.
anything a 10. That's like you'd have to be a perfect movie. There is no perfect 10. It's not gonna happen.
So
All right,
yeah,
that's fair.
At least on my
We've all
scale.
got our
right.
opinions.
No, I can give some movies 10s, but no. So I gave the movie a 6, but it's still good. That's not
All right,
It's
and
still
then
good.
and I think we've discussed Heath Ledger wins Best Actor.
Oh, for sure.
Hands down. And then worst actor. If I mean we talked about the fat guy in the prison
fat
cell.
guy in the prison cell. He was the worst
Prison-
actor.
Was
He had
pretty
like
bad.
one line.
He was bad
But
though.
it was a terrible
Somebody who had
delivery.
more than one line.
He was bad. He
please.
was like the
I'm-
bright lights.
The boss said he'd
No,
make
I'm
the
going
voices
Maggie
go away.
Gyllenhaal.
The
The
he'd
reason-
make the voice.
Oh, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Dude,
Kill.
she could have done so much
You're
better.
like
Think
killing-
about what she could have done to
What
that
could
role.
she have done?
I thought she was
Her
pretty
role,
good.
that's how
I
she
didn't
was.
she was
care about
probably
her.
actually
When she
better
died,
than-
I was like, good.
Oh.
Like,
Heartless, dude.
Actually, I think she was better than Katie Holmes as far as
Hey,
acting.
there you go.
Maybe I'm just judging looks. I don't know.
Well, there's a certain element of Maggie Gyllenhaal that's not likable because Batman's our hero. He's the protagonist, and we know she's got this fling with Harvey Dent instead, and this other stuff going on, and that ultimately she wrote this letter telling Batman, to get the F out.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not.
No,
even
no,
gonna-
she just seemed like dead inside. I just didn't care for her.
Yeah. Okay, you're entitled to that. I don't agree.
That was I think we forgot to mention that scene though. Actually, that was a very sad part in the movie after Rachel's killed by the Joker after she gets blown up, and then Bruce Wayne Alfred's delivering that letter that she had written to Bruce, basically breaking up with him, saying, "Hey, look, even if you don't need Batman anymore, I'll be there for you as a friend, but I'm going to marry Harvey Dent." And so he's saying he's heartbroken, and then he's thinking he tells Alfred she was going to wait for me, Alfred. She wasn't going to wait for him,
Not.
That part was kind of sad. And so
Alfred
If
took that
Alfred-
letter.
If he was the moral king, he would have said, "Well, no, she wasn't actually.
Actually,
I need to be honest."
Read this letter, Master Wayne. She said.
right after read this letter.
And then Batman goes and blows his brain out. I don't think that would turn out well.
Yeah.
So
And then he does the right thing. No, and then he burns
Takes
the
the
letter and
letter.
he never finds out.
he burns it half an hour later in the movie.
Read this letter, Master Wayne. He's putting salt in the wound.
It's like, oh yeah, you think so? You think she was gonna wait? Yeah, well, read
Yeah.
this. Psh.
Look,
No, that was a sad
he
part.
hates to say he told you so, but he did tell you so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but overall, I don't think there was any really bad acting in general in the movie. They did good.
No, it was good.
Overall. So, anything else? Any final thoughts? Changes of heart?
No, I probably
Or-
won't watch it again for a long time. I mean, I don't know. I don't think
Well-
it stands the test of time.
I
a way.
watched this movie maybe a couple months ago, 3 or 4 months ago maybe, and I really liked it because it had been a while since I sat and watched it,
Probably forgot about it, and you were blown away
and
again.
it kind of did have that, yeah, and I still picked certain things apart and laughed about it, but this watch right here with you guys, maybe it was just so recent, it just wasn't as enjoyable. It didn't
I ruined it. Probably
quite have that
That was me.
rewatchable. Michael, we battle the movie a lot while we're watching it, so that doesn't help. But I just
Yeah, if only you guys could watch our whole watching sessions. It's
Yeah, that-
definitely Mystery Science Theater 3000.
we'll save that project for another day.
Yeah.
Let you guys really chime in there. But all right, yeah, I mean, I think that about covers it up. So, nothing else.
No.
We'll just sign off. This was Fry Time Movie Reviews. Thank you everyone for listening. Have a wonderful day.